Kia ora, good evening. 3 city and district councils today adopted a policy to regulate and control the future sale of legal highs in Southland. The local approved products policy was adopted by the Invercargill, Gore and Southland district councils today to restrict the sale of legal highs to the central business district of Invercargill. Sharon Rees caught up with Councillor Karen Arnold to find out more.
We don't have the ability to ban these substances. The government has an act in place which implies that as councils we have to make provision to have retailers who meet their legal obligations. They should be allowed to sell them. So in effect we can't ban them, although many people that submitted to the committee wanted them banned. We got feedback from submitters from the Gore. Winton was very strongly against. They had a huge petition. Te Anau, and we really listened not only to the families of people that have been addicted to these substances prior. We also listened to ambulance officers and police, and we were really concerned that once these substances are available in the more rural community, then it becomes harder when you haven't got a substantial emergency service system that can deal with any criminal or behaviour or people having episodes of some sort.
What reaction are you expecting from the public?
Well, I would hope that the public will be really pleased. There's two aspects to it. We weren't required to do this. I mean, we've put it through in preparation for any new release of products onto the market. So at the moment, they can't be sold until retailers or manufacturers meet certain tests to show that their substances are safe to consume. So once, if and when these substances do come back onto the market, then at least our region is prepared and we've got rules and regulations in place. The restrictions relate to where these substances can be sold. And so in the original policy that went out for public submission, we were looking at having areas set aside in Invercargill and also in Gore, Winton and Te Anau. But based on the feedback that we got, and they'd never been sold in the region before, it was only in Invercargill when the market was open last time. So we decided to keep them here in Invercargill, and then they're restricted about where they can be sold depending on whether they're close to schools or churches or licensed premises and other areas of sensitivity where there might be youth groups or playgrounds, etc. So that's a restriction. Then we've also got CCTV cameras in the city in most of the places, and then they do have to be licensed as well to sell them.
Do you know specific places in Invercargill where these substances will be sold?
So at the moment there's only 2 or 3 areas in town, so there's a map that can be accessed to show where they can be sold. But just because they can be sold in these areas doesn't mean that a landlord's going to let out a premises to the retailers. So it doesn't mean that someone can just set up shop. They have to find a willing landlord as well.
Why have the councils combined to make one policy?
Well, we just believed, the 3 councillors did that, and it's just so that you have an overarching policy for the region, that it's easier, I think, to sort of manage and police, and I think it just sends a signal to everyone that our councils are working together, and we're doing it for the better of the wider community and not just our own patches.
Invercargill police are continuing their inquiries into the aggravated robbery of the D Street night and day store that occurred last Monday. Police today have released still footage of 2 alleged offenders in relation to the incident. One is carrying a machete which was used to threaten the shop assistant. Police are keen to hear from anyone who may be able to assist in identifying the 2 people. Anyone with information can contact Detective McConaughey on 03 211 0450, or information can be provided anonymously to the organisation Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Christmas spending remains steady with 4.3% growth recorded in the first fortnight of December compared to the same period last year. Total spending for the month has already reached $2.3 billion and the total number of transactions processed since December 1st totals 46.7 million. Spending in the hospitality and entertainment sectors has been strong over the past fortnight. The South, however, is showing a decrease in spending along with Taranaki, West Coast and South Canterbury. Supermarket spending's up 7.9% on last year. Spending on books and videos is up by 6%. The figures come from Paymark, which processes over 3/4 of all electronic transactions in New Zealand. Do stay with us. Up after the break, Santa makes an appearance in Gore, plus it's almost time for carols by candlelight. Welcome back. Christmas songs and the flicker of hundreds of candles will see Queen's Park shining bright on Wednesday night. Carols by Candlelight is back again, and with the beautiful weather looking to hold out for the event, thousands are expected to join the festivities.
We'd hope to get around 2,000 people, and at Invercargill sometimes it depends on the night, the weather, but we're a hardy bunch, and that's how I encourage people to come out, bring a blanket, bring a hottie if they need to, or some sun umbrella and some sunblock, and so yeah, it'll be a good turnout. It's always a great event for the community, and people do turn up. Carols will feature a mass choir, and that I think we've got about 60 in the choir, and that put together by Sarah Ray. She has got some soloists from some of the from her school that she works at, and at this stage that's a surprise to us. But I can be assured that and assure everyone that they'll be excellent and great to listen to.
Do families bring their own candles to this event?
They can do if they want, but there is a fire ban in the park, so we no longer have flame candles. And that's why we now supply flicker candles, little battery ones, and if they've got some of those, then yes, they're more than welcome to bring them, or they can purchase them at a minimal cost from ourselves.
And Carols by Candlelight starts at 8 p.m. on Wednesday at the Band Rotunda in Queen's Park. The annual Christmas at the races proved once again to be a sporting highlight for thousands of punters. Ascot Park Raceway was the venue for one of the South's biggest social days on Saturday. Dozens of businesses used Christmas at the races as their end-of-year social function, and this year was no exception, with marquees full to overflowing. Fashion on the field was a highlight for many, while others were more interested in watching the horses. Organisers say the very well-behaved crowd was up on last year, with 7,150 punters on course. Police made 3 arrests for disorderly behaviour, including 2 intoxicated people trying to gain access to the races, and a 3rd arrest was made on course. An exhibition with a difference is on at the City Gallery at the moment, with works on display from students a year after their official graduation. Southern Institute of Technology Bachelor of Applied Media Arts graduates of 2013 are displaying their current artworks 1 year since graduation. Class of 2013, 1 year on, is a showcase of mixed media works including painting, sculpture, digital, pastel, drawing and photography. The Jolly Red Man made an appearance in Gore on Saturday, much to the delight of the little people. Hundreds lined the streets for the annual Santa Parade on a day brimming with sunshine. This year's 43 floats brought lots of smiles to the faces of happy children. New floats this year included the Gore Musical Theatre Company, who took part for the first time. Their float featured the Grinch and classic characters. Gore District Council have organised the event for the last 7 years and say several new organisations got involved this year, as well as individuals signing up to be part of the experience. After the parade, the town held its Christmas in the Park concert at the Gore Gardens. Time now for today's Christmas message. We catch up with Richard Hay from the SPCA with tips for making sure your pets are well cared for over this Christmas period.
You've really got to ask, where has this year got to? It's just disappeared, and it's disappeared for us. It started off with a bang, where in February we got the new shelter operating, thanks to the community and all the work that the community have done towards doing that. Got to thank people like Lou Crimp, the Community Trust of Southland, Licensing Trust, Lotto Commission, and all the public for helping to put this together. We managed to open debt-free, $2 million worth of state-of-the-art operation for the animals. It's allowed us to look into over 300 complaints this year, fortunately of which most of them have been complaints which we've been able to settle. We do have 2 that are pending prosecution, and we do have 2 before the courts now. So there is problems out there. So thank you for being attentive and letting us know about those things. That's really great. I have to really thank all the volunteers that come and go from the shelter all the time, especially the ambulance volunteers. They do a marvellous job. We've been able to house in here this year over 930 animals. They've come into our care either from surrenders or from rescues. Thank you for all that help to allow us to do that. Also for the over 700 that you've homed for us. That has been brilliant also. We still have 98 here at the moment. They're coming and going, cats and dogs, Christmas coming up, which brings me to the point. You'll be going away, no doubt, most of you, for holidays. Some of you will be taking your pets with you. Some of you will have them boarded. That's really good. You can do us a favour. If you've got your pets at home, if you have your family, if you have friends coming around to feed those pets, please tell your neighbours that, because we get a very big amount of complaints over that period, which when we go to investigate them, find that those animals are actually being looked after. So do tell your neighbours so that we don't get those complaints. That would be really great. Love to wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas and a really good 2015. We're going to have another challenge for 2015. It always is. Lots of animals coming in, lots of rehoming to do. Look forward to your support in the new year.
Thanks, Richard. And that brings us to a close this Monday. We're back tomorrow at 5:30. Till then, good night.